Hi Cancer, welcome to your December forecast. Let's just jump right in. If you guys haven't checked my the Great Conjunction video, please do. I'll provide a link at the very end of this video. So there I go. Tells me to stop. You're getting the Emperor. So you're either dealing with an Aries, or you're dealing with a person born in April, or maybe it's signifying you that you just really want to be pampered. You want to have some sense of control. You want to have some sense of direction. You want to have a sense of stability. We are also kind of like going through this like final days of the personal, of the universal year number 4, which basically this card will represent that we just really need to find our stability. As you notice, it was the entire world was absurd, telling us, well, whatever you think the control is, it shouldn't be this way. You kind of like need to go in some kind of like different direction. So let's see what other messages you get. And then you're getting a Three of Sky. Some of you are maybe in a third-party situation. Some of you feeling that you're not getting anywhere with your requests from the partner, or some of you feeling that you're not getting enough time, and some of you are just flatly out rejected. It's kind of like the curse of December, where, you know, simply when people just don't see certain things happening, they just flatly just drop it. And this really talks about feeling that sting of rejection. And I'm really sorry. This could be also you rejecting somebody in the name of your stability, meaning that they are kind of like messing up your life. And it's clearly talking about you going back into your own cocoon and needing kind of like to spend some time there, whether or not you are the one who have been, you know, dumped. You know, remember, rejection is God's protection, or whether or not you are the one who is the dumpee. There's a Sea King. I think this is you, and I really think this is the rub, that you felt that you have so much to contribute to the situation, and that you are giving so much, and to some extent this kind of like feels betrayed, or you may be feeling that, you know, the fit is not there, that you are giving and the other person is not even realizing your contribution in all of it, and maybe you have been taken for granted of some sort. Demon Cat. This tells me that maybe something has been doomed from the very beginning. You kind of like knew it in the very beginning, but it just, things took its toll. One thing led to another, as they say. And you maybe found yourself in a three-party situation. Maybe you later discovered that when it was maybe too late, when you have been emotionally engaged. And Demon Cat also can talk about the situations where somebody's married and somebody's forgetting to say that they're married, and they're acting as if they're not. And then, what do you mean? Like, I'm leaving my husband or leaving my wife, kind of a thing. This can also talk about a codependency, about us overstaying our welcome in situations where we really shouldn't be, right? So it really talks about that we need to reassess why we are there, what is inside of us that we need to rebuild. So that's hence the stability, and need for control shows up, but sometimes the pendulum swings way too far on the other side. And there is a Five of Sea. This is really, really not a good combination, guys. Really not good. Like, I mean, on one hand, there is like this huge emotional contribution. On the other hand, there is this emotional sorrow. And there is like a lesson to boot with these two major arcanas. Lessons are, well, which part you didn't know, kind of a thing. And you're like, really? This is what you're telling me right now when I'm hurting? It's kind of like both emotional and impact, negative emotional impact, but it's also some kind of like embarrassment about the situation. Interestingly enough, there is like also Four of Fire showing up, and I actually really like to see that, because in spite of everything, you are going to have a few days that is going to be really tough. And I kid you not, and it's going to be in the first week of December that you'll be dealing with a whole bunch of things, right? when we get to the second part on the 15th and 14th, actually, when we have the eclipse in Sagittarius, things are going to start looking up. It's going to be kind of like you're going to leave behind, hey, I don't really care who did what to who. It's going to be this sense of justice. You're going to actually feel empowered with whatever standing you have at that stage. You're going to feel, whatever I am, this is a starting point for me. I can create whatever I want going forward. It's going to start feeling that you have vision in that kind of like respect. And that kind of like usually chains that in the regular devil card that we see that they're represented, you're going to start cracking those chains. And we crack them when we start being aware, when we start fixating on them, because that razor will, and even the tears, kind of like remove those chains. You know, every spiritual kind of like leader will tell you they became a leader because things got really, really very tough, and it almost broke them, and that opened that gate where they can actually finally find this freedom. But look at this. Maybe one door is closing, another one is opening, because I see the couple here. I see something happening. I see stability. I see finally things coming through. Maybe you have been broken up with somebody. Maybe things were not working out. Maybe you felt you are falling in some kind of like black hole, that you are losing yourself, and that this is not going towards some kind of stability. Now this is really saying, and maybe shedding the tears and wondering why things are not really working out. As I said, you felt you're doing all the right things, but at some point this month you're going to realize that actually things have been noticed. Things have been working out. Somebody maybe have been dealing with their own demons. Somebody have been dealing with their own stress, and they couldn't really maintain your need for affection because you're like affectionate and touchy-feely, and maybe you had somebody who is very possibly strict, maybe not affectionate at all, and you have been misreading the signals and kind of like you crossed the wires. So your environment is Sky Queen. You might have a friend who might give you a quality advice, and it could be Aquarius or Libra, or somebody who is going to just give you like high level kind of like approach and saying, look, what do you think happening out of here? What do you want to happen out of here? That kind of like sort of things, right? And it's going to be very beneficial. It's somebody who is maybe a little bit too blunt, maybe who goes right straight to the point, but also somebody who knows that time is of a matter. And maybe because of that person, that kind of like you start looking back in a situation and you realize, well, maybe I was like too self-absorbed, and this is like what happens around this eclipse on the 14th. We are shedding all this like absorption. You're shedding this know-it-all attitude. We're shedding off this me, and now there's like the sense of justice and fairness and ethics and morality, something that we are standing for, like principles. And that's kind of like somebody who reminds you, look, you know, sometimes you need to trust your heart. You're very much different from me. Like you see these two queens, each of them, look, they're looking in a different kind of like directions. This one probably wouldn't go and follow her heart. You would. And the rewards are very different, like in these kind of situations. There's like something that you can build. The Ace of Pentacles is really showing up, which shows this long-term ability and rebuild of some sort, and something that can really be strong and really, really last a long time. But there is like still a little bit of hesitation with these two of wands. Shall I not? Should I stay or should I go? There's like still a little bit of je ne sais quoi that really happens in a situation. I want to clarify these two things that kind of like really are messing you up. Yeah, again, somebody could be married. Maybe there's like some kind of like legal situation. Maybe there is some kind of contract. Maybe somebody's dealing with some business problems, business attitudes. Maybe somebody has financial affairs that they need to attend to. Hence, this is requiring a lots of processing, and they don't want to share this turmoil on the outside, so hence maybe they isolate you as a result, and you are misreading the situation. So that's what is happening over there. So just be patient. It sounds like things are going to really work out in your favor, and Don't allow this hesitancy to come in a way, because everything is projected to go very, very well. So let me see what kind of like card you get for 2021. You're getting goblins reversed. So let's see what is this all about. I read it for you, and it says this: it is often difficult to deal with someone else's issues because they impact your own. And that's exactly what it is. You were taking it personally. No one is perfect, but in this case, you're particularly vulnerable to being manipulated. Don't take this world personally. When the Goblins card arrives reversed, it's a sign to step back with detachment. Don't let other people's stuff lead you into reacting from an old wound. Love yourself unconditionally. Set boundaries and your goblins will fall asleep. Love is the only answer. You guys really need to love yourself. You really need to trust yourself, and things will really work out for you. So thanks, my dear Cancer, for being here. And if you're a new subscriber, welcome. If you want a reading from me, contact me at catterra.ca. If you want an annual forecast, that's only available until April for my old clients, and that will cover your quarterly forecast. That will cover all the houses, astrological houses, like all aspects of your life, and also Grand Tableau in Lenormand, where we are going to be seeing how things are going to, how chips will fall. It's about an hour and a half reading, so contact me. And if you guys new and you kind of like want to get some extra information, extra reading, which I'm going to have for 2021, in the description you have to sign for my mailing list, or just go on any of my social media, join in there, so that way you can get that information. Love you guys. I wish you all the best. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, and you know that I love you. All the best.